Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTubers. This is Jerry Diamond with How to Get Out of Babylon, Flat Earth Homeland, and Jersey's Woman of the Woods. I'm going to do an update and then address a particular issue about hauling and moving weights using wheels and fulcrum, lever and fulcrum leverage. So the situation is we're still in a holding pattern. Jersey's not here. We are theoretically closing about the 11th on a hobby farm near Fairgrove. So please be in prayer on that. As far as we know, everything's in order and everything's a go. So I just haven't heard anything recently. They requested a bit more information, which, we got. So anyway, it's kind of up in the air as far as I know right now. So the situation here is I want to get on a topic of moving weights, loads, heavy loads, with mechanical assistance. The wheels were invented quite some time ago. I don't think anybody can really say exactly when, but so take advantage of that. Leverage, you'll see with these devices that we're talking about here today, you can really compound your compound your force, your capabilities. They're a force multiplier. So, and I want to address this because there's a lot of people out there that are getting back to homesteading, getting back on the land. They need to cut trees down. They need to move firewood. They need to dig up stones. They need to move them. They need to build a retaining wall, build a foundation with big rocks. And you need to figure out how to get those things around if you have to do it by hand, if you don't happen to own a $30,000 skid loader. So there are some pretty awesome mechanical ways to do that by hand. So basically you're talking about a wheelbarrow, and that's what this, what you're seeing here is in essence a wheelbarrow on steroids. And I'm just going to cover this one. The only reason I'm showing this is because it's like the most awesome thing that I've seen run across, but it's also extremely pricey. It's very heavy duty. Let me get going on it here. With interchangeable components, wheeled hand tool system. This is a WUTS, wheeled hand, HA, small a, tool system, a WUTS. You can assemble it into wheeled pry bars for digging rocks, rolling levers, post and shrub pullers, rock and debris haulers. You can use it as a small, like a bulldozer almost, for moving large amounts of brush out of the way. Just bite into it, pick it up, and push it. People movers, trailers, and more. Okay, so it's extremely well built, although it is also extremely pricey. And there we go. So here it's got about 500 pounds of wood. That they say that's about 1/10 of a cord. And it's capable of doing that. This guy, it looks like he's actually going up a hill a little bit, but for a wheelbarrow, that's, I'm going to say 3 wheelbarrows at least, maybe 4, because those are wide pieces of wood. They've got a pretty big stove there. So this guy is able to push that fairly handily. There's your bed. That's not the basic configuration. That is the firewood hauling system. See, it's got the shroud over the wheels. And that's the problem I have with the system, is it's awesome, but you'll see here, their basic configuration, their rolling lever, is $705. Rolling lever with clamp assembly, $940. They want $200 for a clamp. Just as that clamp at the front there is to hold a rock in place. Well, good grief. It's got 2 pieces vertical and a horizontal. Rock and debris hauler with clamp assembly. So, it's pricey. Here you can see it hauling a big rock, and then in the middle there, you can actually get under a rock, and then the clamp actually ratchets down Just you jiggle it a little bit and it ratchets down and bites into the rock and holds it in place. On the right, you see a huge rock with some smaller rocks, there with, to counterbalance it. And then you have a capability of moving even more weight. So you're using the small rocks to balance out the big rock, is what I'm saying. So like I said, pricey.